Hello, everybody. This is going to be a quick video over impression management. All right, I have another video about impression formation, and that's all about how you form your schemata or your schemas about other people. But this is impression management. This is how you act. We're going to be talking about how you manage other people's impressions of you. All right, and this is one of the functions of the self, is to manage other people's impressions of you. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we control or try to control the impressions other people form of us. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. So in general, people, when they try to change other people's impressions of them, they want those impressions to be positive. And so they'll do things to make other people like them. Now, one of the most blatant ways of making other people like you is self-promotion. This is one of many kinds of what we call positive impression management. You're trying to, as I mentioned, get other people to like you. Self-promotion is when you tell other people about your strengths, when you tell other people about what is great about you. All right? You tell people that you're kind, that you're caring, that you're generous, that you're intelligent. When you are trying to basically sell yourself to other people by telling them, oh, I have all these great qualities, or I'm good at these things, you are self-promoting. All right. Some people, in all of these, people vary in how much they do it. So some people self-promote, some people self-promote a lot, other people self-promote enough to do the job, and others don't self-promote at all. All right. Another way to get other people to think kindly of you, to think well of you, to form a positive impression of you, is to ingratiate yourself. So ingratiation is another tactic. This is when you are very complimentary of others. This is when you talk about how great those others are, how kind those others are, how smart those others are. The hope is essentially that by you showering them with praise or whatever, or compliments, they will come to evaluate you better. So that's ingratiation. Self-handicapping is almost a prevention tactic. Again, because remember, with positive impression management, we want others to form positive impressions of us. We want them to think well of us. With self-handicapping, you give them a reason to not attribute your negative behavior to you. All right. So, for example, let's say you come in and you are just a righteous grump. All right, just being mean to everybody and their cat. Okay, let's say that's you. Well, if you then tell them, "Oh, I'm stressed," right, or "Oh, I'm tired," right? These things may very well be true, but when you do that, you're giving them an excuse. You're giving them a reason to attribute your negative behavior to something other than you. Oh no, that's not them. They're just tired, or they're just stressed, right? Well, this can happen. This can be a form of self-handicapping. You tell people, you're not prepared, or something prevented you from doing well. You're self-handicapping. You're giving people a reason to attribute some negative behavior of yours to something other than you, so that they won't attribute those negative things to you. All right, let's say you fail a test, right? Well, you say, well, I didn't sleep well the night before, or I've been working nonstop lately, things like these. You're self-handicapping. All right, in this case, you're using reported self-handicapping. All right, you're reporting the reason why your negative performance, or in the example earlier, your negative behavior, should not be attributed to you. It should be attributed to something else. Sometimes, though, we will actively self-handicap. So we do things that prevent us from doing well. We do it so that we have an excuse. We have a ready-made excuse. So, we might go out drinking the night before an exam, or we might not go to sleep. We might stay up playing games or something the night before we go to an interview or something, or we meet somebody new, right? In these situations, you're behaving in a way that makes you behave poorly. So you're behaviorally self-handicapping. If you're just giving a reason why, some other reason why you might, if you're just giving some other reason why somebody might expect you to behave badly, that's reported self-handicapping. But if you actually do something that gives people a reason to understand why you're behaving badly, that's behavioral self-handicapping. Another way to help or lead people to develop a positive impression of you is to make fun of yourself. That's self-derogation. All right, a lot of comedians do this. A lot of comedians use this. All right, and if you're the butt of all your jokes, right, then you're going to make other people laugh. It also gives a sense of humility, right? So it gives the sense that you're not overly braggadocious. You don't brag about yourself much. You don't think very highly of yourself. So by being the butt of your own jokes, not only can you make other people laugh, but you can also help lead them to develop an impression of you in which they think that you don't think highly of yourself. And so you give the sense of humility. Another way that's a little tricksy is something called the Ben Franklin effect. Ben Franklin was famous. He's famous for many reasons, but he was known to be a very savvy politician. It was not uncommon for his political rivals to end up liking him and helping him. And when asked how he was able to manage this, Ben Franklin said that he got his political rivals to do little favors for him. Now, why does that happen? Well, one of the fundamental motives that we have is to be consistent. We want to be consistent with ourselves. And when we do little things that we can't attribute to outside sources, we end up having to attribute to ourselves. So, for example, if you help someone you don't like, right, that's inconsistent. Now, you may have originally done it out of politeness, but then on reflection, you may think, would I really help someone I don't like just to be polite? That may not seem as reasonable to you in hindsight. And because it may not seem as reasonable to you in hindsight, you may think, well, then why did I do it? Why did I help someone I don't like? That's inconsistent with the fact that I don't like them. Well, that motive that we have to be consistent drives us to change one of those two things. Well, we can't go back in time and unhelp them, right? But what we can do is change how much we say we dislike them. We can change the extent to which we like them. And so in an effort to reduce the inconsistency or the dissonance caused by the inconsistency of helping someone we didn't like, we change our attitude towards them such that we start to like them a little bit more. And so people can use this as a way to get others to form positive impressions of them. Ben Franklin certainly did. He would get others to do little favors for them, which is inconsistent with disliking him, leading them to change their attitude towards him to be more positive. All right? So those are some methods of impression formation that research have identified. And that's it for this video. So if you have any questions about the content in this video, please, as always, send your questions my way. If not, I'll catch you later.